Loosen up? Okay. I kind of slunk over.
My crazy hair.
We're just humble academics speaking to Hollywood.
I'm falling off the stool. The one thing we find in our Hollywood Diversity Report series is that women and people of color are pretty much underrepresented on every single front.
You know, people think, oh, it's just Hollywood. It doesn't really affect my life. But yeah, it does. Actually, it does affect your life and affects, you know, everyone that kind of consumes that media in the US and across the world.
Not having certain groups represented in media becomes critical because then if they're not part of the narrative, then you begin to dismiss them as important in society, particularly the youth.
If you watch certain TV shows and minorities are portrayed a certain way that's either stereotypical or hardly at all, then your idea of who they are is going to be shaped by that.
If you have largely white men controlling the industry and deciding what's viable, what can be green-lighted, likelihood is that it's going to come from a perspective that's going to be somewhat narrow in terms of possibilities.
Women have a tough time breaking into the writing rooms and especially the directing. As a young girl, you look to the female characters, but as like a minority, you hope that you can find a character that is similar to you.
I came from the East Coast and I didn't know a lot about the industry. Didn't have a lot of role models who looked like me at that time. I went to film school and I found myself one of two African Americans in the entire film school. Little did I know that was kind of a dress rehearsal for the industry as a whole, but I think it inspires the research I do today.
I'd always wanted to see a Latino, so I was always just like really interested in seeing somebody that looked like me represented on the big screen.
One of the things we're seeing in our data is most people prefer things that are more diverse, not just their group. They want to see something that feels like America, and America is a very diverse place. And yet most things that are made don't look at all like America.
It's in most people's interest to promote diversity, have diverse voices, work with different artists than they're used to.
That's why it's so important to have people in the executive suite who are greenlighting things that, you know, are more in sync with where America is. The thing to keep in mind is that the population is becoming more diverse, not less. So what we're finding now is even going to be more true in the future. Hollywood business as usual is just not sustainable.
Everything logical in the data says that it has to change. Like, there's no way that it can't change. But of course, what we know from the institution is that it'll only change when people decide to change.
You need people that are passionate, obviously, in any field. And if you can get people that are go-getters that will work their way to the top, without them, then the change won't happen.